Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to your December solar session. I am Marlo if you're new, and if you're family, welcome back, my friend, and whatnot, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, anywho, we're going to go ahead and jump into you guys' cards, okay, and see what's going on with you guys for the month of November. So, first card out, we have the moon card. Okay, come on, autofocus. Don't be a jerk. All right, any day now. Okay, yeah, no, maybe, possibly, maybe. Face, no. Okay. Whatever. Anyway, you guys have the moon card. That is Cancerian energy. Okay. And then we have the Two of Wands. I'm going to figure this out eventually, y'all. Oh my gosh. This is so annoying. Why does my autofocus like hate me? Jeez Louise. We have the Two of Wands, and then we have the Four of the Cuppies. So what it's looking like, Sag, coming into and happy, solar return, birthday month, all of the things, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, coming into the month of December, we have the moon card. So it's more or less giving me vibes of a couple of things, actually. Coming into the month, there may be a lot of dreaming that's going on, and literally saying this for the latter part of November going into December, like having a lot of crazy kind of dreams, and some of them you guys may have kind of written off, like you may not have necessarily taken them that seriously. But something I would say moving forward is to pay attention to your dreams, because I feel that there's more or less like subconscious residue, if we could say it that way, that's more or less coming to the surface for you guys. And it more or less feels to me related to something that you guys have not been dealing with and or facing it. How can I say this? When I say subconscious, it's not necessarily like, like childhood stuff or something. I feel it's really something that's happening in your waking life that you guys aren't necessarily acknowledging, because it's not really seeing how it is that you're intermingled in the problem, if that's making sense. I hope and pray that that's making sense. More or less in the sense of, I don't even want to go as far as saying like self-sabotage, but it feels like something that you guys are fraternizing with, something that's a challenge in your life, and it's a hand that you have in it. But I don't feel that you guys are consciously aware that you have a hand in it, or that you're influencing it or a part of it in any way, shape, form, or fashion. And I feel through your dream spaces how it is that this is coming up. So I hope that that makes sense. Now, with this Two of Wands, it's more or less saying in this first 15 days, I think I said that, I'm not sure. I'm so used to saying month of November. But in the first 15 days is what we're talking about here in the first half of you guys' soul session. The other half, of course, is on my membership platforms for the 15th through the 31st. But anyway, more or less the vibe that I'm feeling with this is there's a desire to move forward. But with this Four of Cups, there's a level of stuckness, and you guys aren't really sure why it is that you're feeling stuck, or why it is that, okay, my guys just said Saturn. I don't know what to do with that. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Okay, well, that does make sense. I don't know how long this is lasting, but when I'm recording this, at my book club last night, I got a whole channeled message and things, and it was about Mars. And then one of my members on my network, our sanctuary, shout out to you ladies, was telling me about a trine between Mars and Saturn. And it was something else they said about like us being in Sag season, and that okay, well, this makes sense. Okay, this is all coming together, because of course it's Sag season, and I always do the sign that we're in first, because it's like a collective reading, because that energy ends up influencing everyone anyway. But okay, that makes perfect sense, because the message that I got was wait, I have it written down here. Sag, I'm so sorry. I know that you guys like me to be prompt and get to the point. My apologies. But the way that spirit be set up. But it says the true power in life is found in using the energy of Mars to play chess, not checkers.
So sorry to interrupt you guys while you're listening to the show, but I wanted to tell you guys about our new partnership with BetterHelp. If you haven't heard of them, it's an online resource in which you can find your very own friendly local neighborhood therapist, no matter where you are in the world. You sign up, and within 24 hours, they match you with a therapist that's right for you. And you can talk to your counselor every week via phone or video chat. You can also text them between sessions. If you or someone you know has been considering therapy, get started today with BetterHelp. Now let's get back to the show.
That's what I heard. So, and pretty much what everyone was chiming in was like making plans moving forward via creating a strategy. And shout out to Natasha, which is a woke Taurus that I know, by the way. She said that it's playing the long game in so many words. So I say all of this to say what very well, Sag, that could be coming up in you guys' subconscious with my guide saying Saturn and us talking about this trine between Mars and Saturn. And I don't know how long that's lasting, but I look at astrology like I look at everything. It's an oracle to be read. So whether that transit is happening now or later or whatever, it's still pertinent information because it's an energy signature that you've passed through to get to where you are whenever you watch this. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, but it's more or less that the energy that the collective is in, and specifically, of course, Sagittarius people, is more or less of this holding pattern, which is what I would see between this Two of Wands and this Four of Cups. It's like this push and this drive to want to move forward, right? But it's being like held back in a sense. So it's like an energy that's forcing you to stay where it is that you are. But the purpose for this is for your higher good, because it's for you to make the most of the time that you're in, right? And how you make the most of the time that you're in is by creating a strategy. So as opposed to like jumping out of one thing and into another, and I don't know why this is kind of reminding me of something that I said in November. I don't know if it was to you guys. I want to say it was Aquarius, really. So if that's in your chart, check that out. But as opposed to jumping from one thing into the other, because I feel this sense that it would be kind of jumping out of the pot into the frying pan, is more or less about taking time, getting clear about what you want and what you really want to go in the direction of, as opposed to being in a less than stellar situation or an unclear situation and just desperately wanting that clarity and jumping, you know, out of the darkness and into the light just because, you know, the darkness is uncomfortable. So proverbially speaking, it would be the equivalent of wanting to jump from the moon card straight to the sun type of deal. You feel me? So without learning the lessons of the moon card. So the next card you guys have is the Seven of Wands. Yes, that's very much the energy signature of what I was talking about. God, why does my autofocus not work? And I feel like Sag, every time I do y'all, it's like it really doesn't work for Sag. That's why I was cussing last month. Screw it. You get the point. Seven of Wands. Next card, we have the Magician in the reverse. That's Aries energy. So yeah, dude, here's the thing. What is going to behoove you all is finding your center in a state of balance, you know what I'm saying, and really like aligning with yourself and getting clarity within and not without, because I feel everything that's happening around you guys is hella confusing. If I could literally put it that way, I feel what's happening around you guys is confusing as holy get out, you know, because it feels like it's a lot of stuff that's being thrown at you. So I totally get like what I was saying with this moon card and this Two of Wands, why it is that you guys would want to like jump out of this and into the next thing, because where it is that you are at present is uncomfortable. But I also have to say, you know, you always go through your 12th house before you know, your solar return. So there's always like a level of darkness, and that's like the explanation as to why a lot of times people get really like sad and depressed and stuff like that before their birthday. You know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of like you going through the proverbial birth canal again, if I could say it that way. So it's kind of like this temporary moment of disillusionment where it feels like, you know, all this stuff is changing and you feel completely out of control of what's happening. But I feel the two things that are kind of like your guiding light in the midst of all of this is, number one, to not resist, because, and I'm not going to say because what you resist will persist. No, I'm kind of looking at this as being caught in a rip current, You know what I'm saying? If you're swimming and you're at the beach, you know, you get caught in a rip current. It's like the more that you flail around and resist it, it's like you're going to drown. You feel what I'm saying? So the thing that would behoove you is to kind of relax, release, and like allow yourself to kind of tumble over until it passes so that you're able to swim out of it. You feel what I'm saying? Because I feel panicking isn't really going to do anything for you. And that's, again, the whole vibe I'm feeling for like the first week of December. You know, it's coming into the month in a situation that is almost suffocating. And for some of you, it might literally be chaotic. And I feel the first thought that's coming to your mind is like creating a plan of action to immediately get out of the situation that you're in. But it's really like you need to be aware that you're just swapping one thing for the other. But I also feel that there's a pervasive pattern of you guys having a tendency to do this when things get chaotic. It's like kind of packing up everything and moving on to the next thing. But I see energetically, it's something that's purposefully keeping you stuck, but you're still kind of in the mindset of wanting to jump to the next thing and get out of this. And it's not taking the time to see that the reason why you guys are kind of like held up in this space is for your benefit. For you guys to do what my channeled message is speaking about is actually creating a strategy. So really what I feel is in the first half of December, it's almost like what Sag is really confronting within themselves is a tendency to be reactionary. So it's like you react, you have a tendency to react to uncomfortable situations as opposed to responding to them and creating a plan of action to get out. So the reason why it seems like you're consistently repeating the same pattern over and over again, or you end up in the same space over and over, and you're handling it the same way, which is hopping into another situation, but then you find yourself in that same damn situation again. You feel what I'm saying? It's because there's not a strategy or a plan of action. It's not stepping back and looking at the whole picture, which goes back to what I was saying in the beginning with the moon card of how things could be coming up in your dream space, showing you how you have a hand in what it is that's taking place, right? But as you guys come into the second week of December with the Seven of Wands and this Magician in the reverse, where your power is really going to come from on this journey of, you know, responding versus reacting is staying in alignment with your higher truth or discovering what that is, or in the most mundane sense, it's creating a spiritual practice and making the decision to focus less on what's happening outside of you. Because I feel like that's really what's kind of taking over at present. It's the fact that you can't unsee or not see or fixate on or obsess about what it is that's happening outside of you. And that's not anything you have the power to change, which is why that takes us back to the Two of Wands, is why you're trying to get out of Dodge. And that's not the solution either. And I say that because with this Magician in the reverse being here, it's really saying that it's like you're not utilizing your full power. So there's more power and ability, awareness, insight, all of the things. Okay, holy God. All right. That are available to you. This is so funny how these cards fell out. That are available to you, but it's not you. It's almost like you have a lot of gifts and talents and resources and whatnot that are available to you that aren't being fully utilized. And my guides just said because it's being in survival mode. So this is really breaking down an old antiquated mindset and like coping mechanisms and defense mechanisms and things of the sort. This is how you've known to deal with things up until this point. And you guys are being introduced into a way to break out of this, because I feel this way of approaching things really hasn't been behooving you guys up to this point. Ah, wonderful. Next card that we have is the Nine of Cups. It is not going to be clear because my autofocus hates me. The next card that we have is the Four of Swords. So yeah, dude, that's the thing I'm saying here. This is coming into the 15th of December. It's like what it is that you guys are desiring is coming, but I feel the thing with this Nine of Cups and this Four of Swords that would be imperative for you guys is literally to release, like I was telling you with the whole rip current analogy, is literally like to surrender, to release, to trust the process, to stop resisting and to rest. And I know that probably sounds so counterintuitive, but I literally said to my tribe at book club last night that all of the messages that I've been getting, that my staff has been getting in reference to this energy we're coming into in 2023, all of these messages, they're counterintuitive, because I was telling them how I was looking at my Chiron in my chart, and it's pretty much chaos birth through order, which is like, what? That doesn't make sense. Like, you think of order being birthed through chaos as, you know, the linear way that we think that would make sense. But it's like with my Chiron placement, the healing looks like, you know, chaos being birthed through order. So the only way that chaos can exist is by order existing first. You feel what I'm saying? But when you first hear that, it sounds counterintuitive. And I feel for you all, the way that you have handled things up to this point is reactionary, and it's reacting by jumping from one thing to another, one place to another, and that's supposed to fix things. But if you're honest with yourself and kind of look back at the timeline of your life, it has not solved anything. You're just kind of repeating the same thing over and over, right? So that says that it's like you're only using, with this Magician in the reverse, you're only using one aspect. Oh God, wow. And that's like, the Magician is Aries and that's Mars. Okay, interesting. I love how that goes. Anyway, but the only aspect, and I'm not saying this literally, but I'm saying it figuratively, it's like this Magician in the reverse falling under the Two of Wands is more or less like the four powers of man that you have possession over, right? You're only using one of them, and that's your wands. So you're just consistently taking action, 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 and that's it. You're not doing anything else, right? And I'm saying this hypothetically. So you're not utilizing the earth element, you know, you're not utilizing the water element, you're not utilizing the air element, you're just reacting and taking action and just operating in that aspect of the masculine energy in the world of form, right? So what this would be asking you to do is to step back into a receptivity, that of which would be your feminine aspects, which would be your water and your earth elements. And that's how it is that you get what it is that you want. And that is counterintuitive, because the thought has been to do, to have. And this is literally telling you in the first 15 days of December, if you actually want to get to where it is that you're trying to go, do nothing, trust the process, and align with spirit, listen to your intuitive guidance. You know what I'm saying? Now, the other card that came out, it came out sideways. And it is the, oh, that's freaking hilarious. It's the Hermit, that's Virgo energy. Whenever cards come out sideways for me, that pretty much tells me that that's a free will type of deal. You know what I'm saying? So it's up to you how it is that this pans out. Now, the Hermit in the reverse for me is repeating past mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Doing the same thing that you've done before that does not work. And the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. You feel what I'm saying? So in the first 15 days of December, you have an option, Sag, to either repeat past mistakes. So this puts you guys at a crossroads. You have the opportunity to repeat a past mistake that you have several times before, which is disassociating from the particular issue or problem, not seeing the shadows aspects of it, projecting that shadow onto other people, saying that they're the problem, jumping out of a situation into the same situation yet again. Or you could take this time with the Nine of Cups and the Four of Swords to trust in spirit. You know what I'm saying? It's a little test of faith, to trust that things are going to pan out, and to know that you've done everything it is that you've possibly done up to this point, but really doing like some soul searching to get clear on what this moon card is trying to tell you. It's like, what are my dreams telling me? If you want to know about interpreting your dreams, I am going to plug my book that is on my website. And it's called Dream Work, Unlocking Your Dreams or something. I forgot what the subtitle was. I've written too many books in my life. But anyway, but with my dream book, and I'm actually converting that to a course now that's teaching you how to interpret your dreams. But I think for the first half of December, it would behoove you to kind of take some time, go back and start to decode those, because there's a lot of fresh manna from the sky up in there. Now, looking at the bottom of you guys' deck, you guys have the 5 of the Cuppies in the reverse. I don't know why I keep trying to show these to y'all when the camera clearly freaking hates me. We have the 5 of Cups in the reverse. And the vibe I kind of get with this, because of course we're looking at this while all of this is happening, I kind of get 2 vibes with this. It's like, in one sense, and I feel like that's really with this Hermit being sideways is why I'm getting the energy where this can go one or the other ways as far as interpretations are concerned. On one hand, with the 5 of Cups in the reverse, it's more or less you guys getting out of this funk of, you know, shoulda, coulda, wouldas, or grievances about the past, and you seeing the opportunities you have for your future. But then on the other side of this, I can see how this could become being entrenched even deeper into a pervasive pattern of kind of dwelling on things not working out for you or being apathetic about being stuck at present. So what I really gather from this, Sag, first 15 days of December really says to me that this has a lot to do with you guys self-reflecting a great deal in the first 2 weeks. You know, it's kind of like facing the man in the mirror, if you will. You know what I'm saying? But anywho, Sagittarius, that has been your soul session for the first 15 days of December. Let me know what you think in the comments. As always, you know I love your freaking face, and I will see you guys sooner than later. And by sooner than later, I mean, you know, for your mid-months that are on my membership platforms. Love your face.